Hello and welcome to the Zonal Weakness episode, the first week, of course. And this is the first episode that we're doing on Zonal Weakness. And of course, we have today with me my co host, Bethany Megan, joining us. Hello, Bethany.
Hi, Nadine.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. You?
I'm good. I'm good. How was your game week?
It was great actually. A great first game week. I got 91 points and 45k
Brilliant.
finish. So yeah, great. But I'm not used to starting so high up. So it'll be interesting trying to keep that rank rather than chase, which is my usual usual routine. Is starting off somewhere in the millions and having to chase. What about you?
I got 78, so I'm quite happy with it, except some of the obvious things and obvious picks like Gabriel and others. Stones, for example, didn't really do well. Jackson was brilliant, but unfortunately he missed a couple of chances, so that's that. Yeah, beside that, I think, yeah, 78 first game week. Still somewhere around 1 million, I think, in the rank,
Yeah,
but yeah,
definitely
the
above average,
distance is not
which
too
is
much. So
yeah.
yeah, there's going to be a lot of variation in terms of ranks in the early game weeks. I'm quite happy with it. Let's hope that we can progress forward, right? Right. This is the first, of course, first time we are doing the Zonal Weakness recorded video, and of course, this is something that we plan to do it throughout the season. And of course, Bethany will be joining us 1 week, and the other week, of course, FPL Radar from the USA, FPL USA community will be joining us. So yeah, we'll be having the Zonal Weakness out along with our regular tweet thread that we usually do. So yeah, so let's get started, Bethany. So this is, of course, before we get started, of course, please do give us a follow and like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. But of course, do give us a follow on our Twitter. We are regularly there, and of course, we are quite well known for our zonal, not yet famous, but let's say we are getting quite the attention that we need. So appreciate all the support that will come from you moving forward. Of course, shout out to Fantasy Football Scout, because all the member data that you see on the Zonal Weakness are taken from the Fantasy Football Scout members area. And if you want to apply for the membership, this is the perfect time for you because you get a 30% discount. I think it's coming to an end this week, so hurry, and you will get all the zonal data that you need, that you all love. So, Bethany, moving to the Zonal Weakness, and this is the chart how it looks for this week. So, what really pops out for you?
I think one of the first things that popped out for me that was a little bit surprising actually was March and that top rank there for him coming up against Wolves next, because I watched the Wolves game and Wolves looked amazing. So it was interesting for me to see that. And yeah, March obviously got his goal this week as well, so could definitely be a good shout, but not worth twisting if you're on Matoma already. He's a great shout as well, I think.
Yeah, true. I think there's 7 chances considered by Manchester United. I mean, sorry, Wolves on the left, from the left flank. Basically, one Bissaka's chances came from that side. So that's one of the point as to why UBC much. But yeah, it was pretty surprising to me as well. What about Manchester City against Newcastle?
Yeah, again, so Foden is standing out definitely there with the fourth and fifth best chances for him on the right flank. So Foden definitely a great shout, but also Haaland and Alvarez are in there too. And I think obviously with KDB now confirmed out for quite a while, hopefully the team will be a bit more settled and we won't have quite as much Pep Roulette to worry about. So Foden could be a great differential because he's not highly owned at all really at the moment.
So would you suggest, like, let's say, if people have already bought Foden for game week 1, should they hold or should they sell?
Yeah, definitely hold. Looking at those numbers there, I'd definitely give him another week at least.
Yeah, I'm quite interested in the Alvarez punt. A lot of people are talking about it, of course, on Twitter as well, with KDB's injury, and of course Pep confirming that he'll be out for a few months. So that's that. So Alvarez would be interesting, and of course, City doesn't really have that midfield depth. I think they have about 5 or 6 players now, right now,
Yeah.
to occupy. I think 6 players occupying 5 spaces. So that's interesting. So yeah, yeah. Um, Coming to Manchester United and of course Tottenham. What I really thought maybe Tottenham, the way Brentford played, I thought maybe Tottenham chances were would be good, but it seems like no. Manchester United, of course, considered 5 chances or from the right flank. So Son is a good shout, and he's ranked fifth among all the midfielders. But I think what's interesting is really, which has been spoken about a lot on the Twitter community at the beginning of the game week was Madison, and how Ange Ball and all the and how Madison is kind of playing very central, and he's getting into the D box a lot. So I think that kind of reflects well. So yeah, Madison would be one of the transfers that I think the zonal weakness is kind of screaming. Not sure with Richarlison. I think a lot of Spurs forum are suggesting to wait and watch before you can make a decision on that. But yeah, if there is one player from Spurs based on zonal weakness, if I'm supposed to be transferring, that would be definitely Madison. So yeah, 8 chances.
And he's shown what he can do this week anyway. He got 2 assists this week. So coming up against that opposition, when they're conceding all those chances in his area, makes perfect sense to go for him.
True. What's also interesting is Emerson Royal. Basically, Manchester United considered 14 chances, and they're ranked third worst team in terms of crosses conceded. And Emerson Royal is there, and he was there amongst the goals. So that's another shout that would be interesting. So what do you think about Chelsea? I believe you watched the game. So
Chelsea was one of the games. One of the games I managed to watch this weekend, and it was a great game. James and Chilwell especially really stood out. We love them as FPL assets if they're fit anyway. But in the game, it was so clear how far forward they were. They were looking great. Obviously, on here, West Ham, James looks like the better option, being ranked second for chances on the left flank. Whereas Chilwell doesn't look quite as good, but he looked great in the game, and I'm sure that even at 14th, he could still do well against West Ham. So if you don't have either of them, I'd definitely be going one. Probably Chilwell for the longer run if you're just targeting this week, James. But Chilwell for the longer run first, I think, especially James came with a slight injury. He hopped off at the end of the game, so I don't think it's anything serious. I think it's probably a precaution and tired, and they didn't want him to get injured. But I think Chilwell probably a safer option long term. But just for this week, James looks the best option.
Yeah, but I would suggest if you have Chilwell, then Chilwell would be a better option because I think he was much more forward than in compared to James. But yeah. If people want to go for James, at least the zonal says it is. Just one thing. This is just 1 week data, so one shouldn't be relying on it. That's just a precaution that I would just like to send out. And so let's move to the next slide. And I think we don't have too many teams left to cover. So what about Brentford?
Yep, with Tony out, Umbremo and Visser often do well, and they did last game. Both of them got returns, and looking against Fulham, they're fourth and fifth ranked for left flank for Umbremo and headers for Visser. So again, I think they could both do well, and they're both so cheap. It's very easy to fit them into your teams. So if you have got that space potentially for a transfer this week, they could be a great shout. And they've got good fixtures going forward. So as well as the zonal for this week, they've got some nice fixtures coming up. So it's not just a 1 week punt.
Yeah, at least from the first game week, from the matches that I saw, the highlights that I've noticed, I think Sheffield came across as one of the weakest defense along with Luton. And the Luton match, of course, is not there. So that's why we're kind of not covering it because I think that's a blank game week. But Sheffield, they considered 8 chances down the right flank. And, that's where Gibbs White will be playing. So basically, they're the second worst team there. Through the center, they're the 4th worst team. And, of course, the side where Johnson will be playing, they are the 2nd worst team. So, anyone probably taking a punt on Nottingham Forest, I think this could be a good week to do so. Yeah. So anything else left in here? Otherwise, we move to the team of the week.
I don't think so. Other than, unfortunately, as a Watkins owner, it doesn't look great for him.
Right. Yeah, true. So let's go for the team of the week, and of course, this is zonal team of the week for game week 2 based on the 1 week data that we have. So what really stands out here, Bethany?
So for me, it's just really interesting, a bit like what we've just said, to see that both Mbromo and Visser, both Brentford players, managed to make it into the team of the week, which is impressive. And like I said, going forward, they've got great fixtures. So I think they're somebody to think about. Salah, obviously, we know what he's like, but watching that game as a non-Salah owner this weekend was terrifying. He was brilliant. So anybody who may be invested in KDB and has kind of some money to spare and could push for Salah, definitely worth going for. He was unlucky to only come away with the assist, I think, at the weekend. So yeah, I think those are two of the players that stand out mostly for me. I've already made my transfer for this week, actually, and I brought in Mbromo. I had Trossard, took a bit of a punt for him, and he was kind of just a placeholder in my team. So I've gone for Mbromo before he rises in price and Trossard drops. But it was between Mbromo and Maddison. They were two of the players that I were really interested in, and great prices.
Yeah. So I'm holding my transfers, to be honest, because I've already got Maddison for game week 1. Nice. I'm not really going down much for March because I have Mitoma there. Salah would getting Salah in would be a little bit of a difficulty for me because that would change the shape. But unless he starts to damage my ranks, then I'll have to think about alternative way of getting him in. But besides that, I'm not quite surprised with James and Chilwell making it there, with Emerson Royale there, and of course Haaland and Foden, quite obvious. So yeah, well, so that covers our first game week video, of course. Thank you so much, Bethany, for joining me. And audience, of course, if you like it, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. And of course, you're more than welcome to join the Fantasy Football Scout. For membership, please do get in touch. And of course, click on the link that we have in the video below, and you would get a discount membership. Bethany, it's been a pleasure. And thank you so much for joining. I'll see you the week after.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Hope the next week goes well. Brilliant. See you later.
All the very best for the game week. Take care. Bye.